Have you ever felt like you have all the time in the world? Let me tell you about Alex. To his friends and family, Alex was a puzzle. He was sharp, quick-witted, and had a natural talent for just about anything he tried. But he was also incredibly lazy. His days were a blur of sleeping in endless video games and scrolling through his phone until his eyes glazed over. His room was his kingdom, and the snooze button was his most loyal subject. His parents would sigh. His teachers would shake their heads. Such wasted potential, they'd say. Alex would just shrug. There's always tomorrow, he'd think, rolling over for another nap. One unusually sunny afternoon, Alex decided to venture outside, mostly to find a new spot to lounge around. He wandered into an old, dusty, antique shop he'd never noticed before. Behind the counter sat a mysterious old man with eyes that seemed to hold centuries of stories. He beckoned Alex over. Without a word, the man placed a watch on the counter. It was unlike any watch Alex had ever seen. It had no numbers, no hands, just a sleek, dark screen. "This is for you," the old man rasped. Alex, curious, strapped it on. The screen flickered to life, displaying a long, daunting string of numbers that were rapidly counting down. "What is this? A timer?" Alex asked. The old man smiled a sad, knowing smile. "That, young man, is not the time of day. That is the time of your life. Every second that ticks by is a second you will never get back." Alex stared, mesmerized and horrified. The numbers were dropping. Fast. 987. 986. 985. He ran out of the shop, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Back in his room, the familiar comfort was gone. The ticking of the watch was a constant, deafening reminder of his fleeting existence. Sleep offered no escape. He dreamed of falling numbers. Video games felt pointless as he watched his virtual life thrive, while his real one dwindled. The watch was a curse, a constant source of anxiety that haunted his every waking moment. He tried to take it off, but it wouldn't budge. He was trapped, watching his life literally tick away. A week passed in a haze of panic. Then, one morning, something shifted. As he watched the numbers drop, a different feeling emerged from beneath the fear. Determination. If this was all the time he had, he couldn't waste another second. He got out of bed, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. He started small. He cleaned his room, a task he'd put off for months. Then he picked up a dusty guitar in the corner and finally learned the chords. He'd always meant to. He started studying, not just for tests, but for the pure joy of learning something new. He spent time with his family, truly listening to them, helping his mom in the garden and playing chess with his dad. He used every ticking second to build, to create, to connect. The lazy boy was gone, replaced by a young man on a mission, Jers Fluby. Alex went to college, started his own business, and became a respected innovator in his field. He fell in love, built a family, and traveled the world. He never forgot about the watch. It was still on his wrist, a silent partner in his journey. One quiet evening, as an old man himself, surrounded by his loving family and the fruits of a life well lived, he glanced at his wrist. The screen was dark. The numbers were gone. It had stopped. Alex didn't feel fear or sadness. He simply smiled, a deep, contented smile. He had used his time well. He had lived, and that made all the difference. Remember, we all have a clock. We just can't see it. So make every second count. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.